audible to everyone? Am I audible? Okay, okay. Right. So let us start our today's session. In the last class, we have discussed the implementation of uh, stacks. So even little bit we have discussed implementation of queues as
സൗണ്ടേ
well.
എനിക്ക്
All right. So now let us see the implementation of queues, uh, and then we'll move to the remaining part of our collections. All right. So still some of them are waiting with their names rather than register numbers. I'll allow only if you come with a register number only, right? So even I was passed a message, but still they are in waiting room. Okay. We just pass some message. Right now, let me start our today's session. So in the last class, we have discussed what is a queue and what way we are supposed to implement, and what are the various methods that are available in the queue. So these things we have discussed in the last class. Now let us see the implementation part of the queues. Right. So yes, as I told you, queue is not a class, it is an interface So that is the reason you cannot directly instantiate. Instantiate directly. So that is the reason you can create an object with the help of a linked list and priority queue. So the queue can be implemented with the help of linked list or the priority queue, right? So if you want to declare a queue using linked list, so this is the syntax for it. This is the syntax. If you want to create linked list, I mean queue with the linked list, with the help of linked list, and this is the way of creating queue object by using priority queue object. So now we'll see both the implementations, both linked list and as well as priority queue, what way they will be executed, right? So these are the methods which we have discussed in the previous class. Methods of queue interface. This method adds the specified element at the end of a queue. At the end of the queue, right? Yeah, someone please tell me, this is the thing which we have discussed previously or not? Or if you have any queries in stack also, because I'll go to execute the program how to implement queue in linked list representation and as well as priority queue representation. So please correct me if I am wrong. So shall I proceed with this implementation? Yeah, I'll show you the waiting list because you are able to see my screen. Nobody is there with their register numbers. As I told you, we'll allow only the participants with the names on, with the register numbers only, not with the names. So, Kota Veeramma, Niharika Mada, Naveen Gera, Priya Spark. These are the only 4 people are in waiting room, and still they are with their names rather than their register numbers. The remaining all are admitted. All Chaitanya, and now 554 has entered. So you just ask them to join with register numbers, because almost it is a week ago we have started the classes. Almost second week is also going to end now. So still you don't know how to enter into the class. It is meaningless, right? Okay. All right. So shall we proceed with the implementation of the queues where we have stopped in the last class? Is it correct or not? Somebody please respond. Any one of you, please respond. Shall I proceed with implementation? Any one of you? Okay. All right. So now once again we'll see methods of the queue, and then immediately we'll shift to the implementation part. Now the add method is used for adding elements. Remove method is used for removing the elements, and element. So this method returns the head of the queue, that means first element. And offer is also same as the add method. Now here you are supposed to observe poll and peak. Peak anyway we have discussed in the last class. A poll. Poll means this method is almost same as, not almost, everything is same as remove. Only the difference is it returns null value if it returns null value if there is no element present in the list. List in the sense here the list is queue. Right? Okay. So So in peek method, just simply displays the I request SMBC sir, you please take care of admitting the candidates who will try to join the class with the register numbers. Sir, give your response. SMBC sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I am doing that.
Okay, okay, sir. Okay, thank you. Now, let us move to the implementation part of the queue, how it is going to be implemented, and we'll see now. So, all of you able to see this screen? Is it visible or not? Is it visible or not? Okay, okay. All right. Now, let us see how this is priority queue actually. First, we will discuss the queue, and then we'll move linked list implementation, and then we'll move to the priority queue implementation. Right. So this is the code for implementing queue using linked list, because as you all aware of that, queue is the interface, so you cannot directly create object to it, right? So right. So now queue which is an object to the linked list, right? Now by using the add method, I can add element to the queue, right? And queue dot, so here I was using the add method. After adding all these elements, as you are aware of that, the add method is used for adding an element into the queue. So with that add method, I was added 5 elements, okay, and after that I would like to print whether they are added to the queue or not. So those elements, what we are expecting here, the queue should contain these five words: Rick, Maggie, Glenn, Megan, and Dan. Okay, so now let us start to remove the element from the list. So the original queue is having 5 elements. Now we want to remove an element from it, right? So we can remove the element from the queue using remove method. This would remove the first element of the queue. As you are aware of that, insertion will be made at rear end and deletions will be made from front end, because queue is having 2 ends. One is meant for inserting and another one is meant for deleting, right? So always when you try to delete the element, always it should be from the first element of the queue, because it follows the mechanism of first in, first out. So that is the reason always you're supposed to remove the first element only. So for that, this remove method will be applied, so that the first element is going to be deleted from the list. In our case, the Rick is the first element, because this is the first element which we have added to the queue. So that is the reason after executing this particular line, okay, this particular element is going to be deleted from the queue, right? Now let us apply the queue element. So the element method always it returns the head of the queue. That means first element of the queue, right? And then queue dot poll. As I told you, poll and remove methods are same in functionality. Both of them meant for removing an element from the queue. Only the difference is if the list is empty, okay, the poll returns the null value as an output whenever the list is empty, right? Okay. And then after that, peek is the method which is used to display the head element. Whereas in the case of stack, whatever the element which is present in the top, that will be displayed. It was not removed from the list. All of you understand this particular point very clear. It will not remove anything from the list, but it displays the right in the stack. It displays the top element, right? So whereas remove method, it removes the top element in the case of stack and first element in the case of queue, right? Okay. Now after performing the peek operation, we'll try to print the queue. So now let us see the output of this one. Initially, what we did, initially we have created a queue using linked list. Okay, and we have added 5 elements to the queue. Those are Rick, Maggie, Glenn, Megan, and Daryl. Okay, so after adding these 5 elements, we have printed the list. That is queue. Queue elements will be printed. All of you understand the first line of this output? Rick, Maggie, Glenn, Megan, and Daryl. So queue, the 5 elements which we have added, right? And after that, we apply the remove method, right? So remove method removes the first element of it. So what is the first element in the queue? Rick. So the removed element is Rick itself only, right? That means the first element, because the deletion should be performed at the front end, from the front end of the queue only. So that is the reason this is the first element which was entered in the queue. That's why you can delete this particular element only, right? And after that, what is the next step that we did? We'll try to print the head element. That means the first element in the list after deleting this particular one, right? So for that purpose, because we have created only the queue with 5 nodes only, but in the real-time scenario, you might observe that there are millions of nodes should be present in that list. In that case, moving front, back, these all things, the importance of these things come picture in that case only. So make sure that you just imagine these things will be applied only for huge collection of data. But for the time being, we have created only 5 nodes. So for the 5 nodes, you may not observe the difference. You may not completely understand the behavior of this functionality, right? So keep it in your mind that we are going to perform all these operations in huge volume of data, because our intention is how these data structures will be used in solving the big data problems. So that is our intention, right? So after removing this particular first element, we'll try to know the what is the first element in the list. For that, the queue has supported a method. Queue interface has supported a method called element. So it returns the head element. That means first element in the list. So originally the list contains these 5 elements. We have deleted the Rick. So now the list contains only, the queue contains only 4 elements: Maggie, Glenn, Megan, Darley. In that, Maggie is the first element. So after executing this particular queue.element method, it is supposed to display Maggie as the output. Let us check in the output. So remove head element. Head is equals to Maggie. All of you are able to see this or not? Maggie. So now, because Maggie is the second element which is present in the original queue. So after deleting first element, this will become the first element in the new list, right? And then after that, system.out.println poll. What is the functionality of the poll? It is also same as remove method if the list contains elements. You may not observe the difference between remove and this particular one if the elements are present in the queue. Okay. So in this case, the first element is supposed to be deleted from it. That is Maggie, because in the previous step we will try to find out the first element, that is Maggie. Now after applying the poll method, you are able to delete Maggie. Okay, and then now Glenn becomes the first element, because these 2 elements are Rick is deleted with by using the method remove, whereas Maggie is removed with the help of that method poll. So now uh, now let will act as a first element because these two elements are deleted from the queue. So now when you apply the peek method, as I told you, peek method displays the head element. Okay, so it will not remove anything from the list. Simply it displays the head element as the way the element shows the first element. So here also similar to that, right? So after applying this peek function on the queue, it displays the first element, that is Glenn, right? Then after that we'll print the elements in the queue. Okay, so these are the elements which are present in the queue. So in such a way we will create the queue with the help of linked list. Here linked list in the sense the elements are created in the form of nodes. Okay, so that we'll perform all these operations, right? Now let us see the priority queue implementation. This is the linked list because queue will be implemented by using either by using linked list or priority queue. As I told you, priority queue means the elements, the characteristics for the priority queue they should be comparable. You cannot comparable. You should find the comparable mechanism. Suppose if you want to keep, as you might have observed in operating system, there is a scheduling algorithm called shortest job first. What happens in that case? Whatever the number of jobs that are arrived in the queue, okay, the elements will be placed into the queue based on this size, right? Shortest job will be placed or executed first, next, second one, like that. So here also there should be some sort of comparison should be exist among the elements. For example, you have three different sets of books. One is in blue color sets, one is red color, one is yellow color. Imagine three, each group contains five elements: blue color, red color, and yellow color. Okay, so if a new book has arrived, so what you have to do? You need to be place it in the appropriate place based on the color itself, right? Suppose if the book color is blue, will be keep it in that. Suppose if the book color is green, we don't have any comparison mechanism here itself, so that is the reason we are unable to place it in the queue itself. Now, of course, just it is an example. We will not deal with the colors. Just usually we will deal with the integer values only, right? All of you understand my point or not? So in such a way, the priority queue should have some priorities should be defined. Based on that priority, the operations are performed. Okay, all of you understand my point? Here, instead of it following the FIFO mechanism, it follows the priority mechanism, which is going when you want to delete an element, which is going to delete the element from which is having highest priority. All of you understand my point or not? Highest priority. Okay. Somebody is facing a problem like you are unable to rejoin this meeting because you are previously removed by the host. I did not remove anyone. You please log out yourself and clear your cache, and then you can join, right? Now, let us see the priority queue implementation. Right. Is it visible to everyone? Is it visible or not? Is it visible or not? Okay, done. So this is priority queue implementation. As I told you, there should be some comparison should be exist among the elements which are going to be inserted. So here I was defined my comparison. You can write your own comparison, whether it is different in color, different in size, different in length, like that you can do it. Right here, I just follow the length as the parameter. Right? Now, so this is the syntax for creating priority queue. Okay, it should follow the my comparator. So that which I was defined. All of you understand these highlighted lines, because you need to be override. You need to be implements the my comparator method, interface method. All right. Here the way, whatever the way that we have added elements to the linked list, similarly here we'll create an object to the using priority queue, and with that object we will try to create a new queue by adding 4 elements in it, right? So while q dot size is not equals to 0, system dot out dot println of q dot poll in the sense it is going to be removed from the top element. Okay, here you can observe the output. All of them are alphabetical in size. You can check. This is the smallest size, whereas the second one is next to biggest one, third one is next to. But while adding the elements, so all of you understand here, ARIA Stark is the third element which I was entered in my insertion list. But while displaying the element, it was displayed as the first element, because which is having the smallest length when compared to the others. So that is the reason it was placed as a first. So when you are performing the delete operation, always it gives the highest priority to this particular one only. All of you understand my point or not? So here, because here we are our comparison mechanism is length. So that is the reason always when you are inserting an element, it should be compared with the existing one and placed in the appropriate place. Okay, so always the element which is having the highest priority will be deleted first. So that is the reason why you are getting the output like this, even though you have entered the elements in this particular organization. So now what we understood from these two implementations is both queue is a collection, which is a queue interface is a collection. Collection means it makes a group of things together as a single unit. Here these 5 words or 4 words are going to be make it as a single unit, and will perform operations on it, right? So as we have discussed, linked list, stack, queue, all these are same in making group of things as a single unit. Only the thing is they are different, the functionalities which we are going to be perform on the data, and the process, the way which we are going to be perform operations is only the difference that exists among all these methods. Somebody raise it. If you have any doubt, you can ask. Somebody has doubt, right? Okay. Okay. If you have any queries, you can ask. No issue. By unmuting yourself and you can ask. Right. So what we observe from all these previous implementations and this particular implementation is these all things are used for creating a group with a set of elements, and how we will perform operations on it. So this is one approach. Now let us discuss another important aspect in the collections framework is set interface. So set interface, as you studied in mathematics in schooling, a set is a collection of elements, right? So that is the reason here we need to define a mechanism how we are going to be implement a set in the collections itself, right? The important characteristic of the set when compared with the previous interfaces is it will not, or it cannot contain duplicate elements. It cannot contain the duplicate elements. It won't allow you to insert duplicate elements into the set, right? The set interface contains only the methods inherited from collection, because these all are, as we have seen in the first diagram, where it shows the all the collections, lists, interfaces, and classes which are present in the collections framework. So that is the reason. Okay, so it all inherits all the methods which are available in contains only methods inherited from the collection, and adds the restriction that duplicate elements are prohibited. So this set interface contains the methods which are inherited from the collection interface, and it adds one more restriction to that is only it allows unique values. It will not allow you to store duplicate values, right? So in Java platform, or these particular architecture will allow us to implement this set in three different ways. One is hash set, tree set, and linked hash set. These are the three different approaches which are going to be used for implementing set interface, as the way we use the linked list and priority queue for the implementation of queues, right? And since set is an interface, so objects cannot be created of that type set. We always need a class which extends this list in order to create an object. As I told you, this can be implemented with the help of these three mechanisms, right? Okay, but because here we are using generic classes and generic methods mechanism which is available in Java, so with that it is possible to restrict the type of the object that can be stored in the set also. That means what kind of data we are supposed to insert into the set will also be controlled, even though we cannot directly create the object to the set. All of you understand my point or not? Here we have created object to the hash set, but with that we can control the set. It should contain only object of this type only. You cannot, suppose if you declare it as a string, you are supposed to store only strings into the set itself. Okay, you have declared it as a string and you will try to store integer values. It will not allow you. It will not allow you to store. So that is the reason this is called as type safe. Type safe, generic classes, generic methods. As I told you, they allow you to pass types as a parameters rather than values. So that is the reason type safe. Okay, so whatever the type which you want to keep, you are able to keep by defining like this only, right? So that is about set definition. Now let us see the characteristics of the set. As I told you, duplicate elements are not allowed. Elements are not stored in order. That means you cannot expect elements sorted in any order when iterating over elements of a set. So when you are applying the iterator, it will become an unordered set, right? We will see in the implementation part how it will be implemented and all, right? Now next one is the why and when you are using the sets based on the characteristics. Okay, if you want to store elements distinctly without duplication, that means you want to keep a list with unique values, you have only one option, that is you will go with the set. And you don't care about the order of elements. The order of elements, whatever the order that they entered into the queue, you are not bothered about it. Okay, in these two cases, the sets are preferable. So whenever, if you have that kind of requirement while handling big data applications, you are supposed to go with the set application. You are go with the set implementation, right? Okay. Now you can use the set to store unique integer numbers. You can use the set to store cards randomly in the cards game. You can use a set to store numbers in the random order. So these are all the some of the examples where we can use these sets in the real-time scenario, right? And now the set implementations. As I told you, the set is an interface, so you cannot implement directly. So that is the reason you are supposed to implement with the help of hash set, linked hash set, and tree set. These are the three different approaches. Okay. Now let us see what is hash set, what is linked hash set, and what is tree set. What are the differences that exist among these two, and then we'll go for the implementation part. All right. Hash set is the best performing implementation, widely used set implementation, right? So it is used based on linked list implementation. It is implemented based on, of course, initially it was arrays. A linked hash is defined with a linked list implementation, right? So initially it simply implements for the keeping of elements with distinct values and unordered. Okay, so here the performance point of view, it performs well because it is array implementation. Whereas linked hash set, so here there is no order. If you want some order, it will not possible with this particular approach. So that is the reason you will go with the linked hash set implementation. This implementation orders its elements based on insertion order. That means whatever the order that they enter into the set, they will be placed in that order. Don't think that they are 1, 2, 3, 4 either in ascending order or the descending order, right? So whenever if you want such kind of ordering, you will go with the linked hash set. You are not required, not at all. You are not required any ordering or something else. You should go with the hash set because it is a simple mechanism and it is an efficient mechanism when compared with these two. Okay. Now a tree set. This implementation orders its elements based on their values, either by their natural ordering or by comparator provided. So what I mean to say is this will be implemented. Oh, I'm not sharing the screen. Okay. I'm very sorry. Now, is it visible? My screen is visible or not? Can I move to the previous slides where you may not observe something? Just simply, I'll scroll back 1 minute and then, because you are not viewing my screen. So this is set interface definitions which we have discussed regarding sets. There is no duplicate values. It only inherits the methods from the collection and it restricts the entry of duplicate elements, right? So this anyway, this is the theoretical aspect, and the set can be implemented either by using these two approaches or by using this particular approach, right? These two approaches, this hash set approach uses the arrays, linked hash set approach uses the linked list, whereas a tree set uses the binary search tree. Internally, it follows the mechanism of binary search tree. As you are aware of that, it is a self-balancing tree. That means it automatically balances its weights, because always the right element should be greater than the root and the left element should be less than the root. In such a way, we will arrange the elements in the binary search tree so that the tree will become a balanced at any given point of time. So the tree set uses the binary search mechanism for implement. It is in a tree structured format, whereas these two are in list format. Hope you all understand. All right. So the tree set implementation ordered its elements based on their values. That is the reason binary search tree. As I told you, left element should be less than root. Right element should be right element in the sense right child, left child, root, right child. Okay. There is a relation between these two in binary search trees. Okay. Either by the natural ordering or the compared. Natural ordering in the sense by default, whatever the way that they are entered, based on that, or you need to define a mechanism. If it is not possible with the values, okay, suppose if you are dealing with the tasks or something else, okay, in that case, you need to define your own mechanism. In the previous case, we have defined a mechanism of finding the length difference that exists among the elements. In the similar way, here also you can define your comparator comparison mechanism. With that, you can try to create the set. Okay, right. So therefore, besides the uniqueness of these elements that a set guarantees, consider using hash set when ordering does not matter. As I told you, you need not bother about order of the elements which are present in the set. You're advised to go with the hash set implementation. We will see implementation of all these three approaches, but until then you just understand what exactly they are, right? In the linked hash set, if you want ordering with less implementation burdens, you will go with the linked hash set. Okay, these two uses the list kind of representation, whereas tree set is going to be implemented, or it follows the mechanism of binary search tree mechanism, tree kind of format, as you can imagine, right? When you want to order the elements by their values, if you want to sort the element list of elements using insertion order, you will go with the linked hash set. Unorder will go with the hash set. Tree set, which is if you want to order the elements by values rather than the insertion order. Okay, so these are the three different approaches which are used for implementing set interface, right? Now this is the various methods which are available in the set interface. So this is the first one is the size, which is used to get the number of elements in the set. Boolean empty, so whether you want to check whether the set is empty or not. And contains is nothing but search operation. Okay, iterator as we have discussed in the previous class, which is in forward direction to move one after another for a retrieving process, just like for loop in our C program or C++. What way we are starting at the beginning of the list, and what way we are moved one after another. In the similar way, the iterator is also be used. We will see iterator implementation and normal implementation of set. Okay, there you can understand the difference that exists among all this, right? Add e comma e at specified position. If you want to specified element you want to insert into the set, not position, specified element if you want to insert into the set, you can use this particular method. Like remove, you want to remove an element from this. Remove all, because here one more important point is, what are the basic mathematical operations that we can perform on the set? You can union means you can club two sets and make them as a single one. Intersection in the sense finding the what is the output of the intersection. New set will be created with the common elements which are present in both the sets. Common elements which are present in the both the sets. So the new set contains only the elements which are common in both the sets, right? And you can clear all the union, intersection, and difference. Difference in the sense, suppose set A, set B are the two different sets. If you apply the A minus B, what happens in that case? All the elements which are present in B, okay, and if the same elements are present in the A also, then they will be removed from the list. Whatever the elements which are present in A and not present in B will be displayed as the difference set, A minus B. Okay, whatever the elements which are present in the first set and the same elements if they are not present in the second list, so that list will be displayed as an output. So these all methods we are supposed to implement while implementing the set interface, right? So this is about some of the methods of set and all. We will discuss the implementation, how we will implement all these methods, and what way they are going to be implemented. These things we will discuss in the next class, right? SMBC sir, you please read the absentees of today's class. SMBC sir, so that they can verify and if is there any problem, they will let me know. You can unmute yourself and you can speak, sir.
They will be placed in the groups, sir, after the class.
Rather than placing, if possible. Okay. You please verify with them. Okay. Then any queries? Any queries? If you have any queries, you just post it in the chat box, or you can unmute yourself and you can talk. Otherwise, I'll end the session. Anybody? So whether you all receive these documents, which I'm sharing with the group itself, and if you did not receive, I mean, especially these programs are important. Theoretical way, anyway, we'll supply the material, but the programs which I was shared, if you did not receive, once again you can make a request so that I will forward it to you. Yes, sir, tell me.
Sir, please wait 2 minutes so that I am taking attendance.
Okay, then make it fast, sir. Yeah, you can take, sir. You can take that.
Okay, sir, done.
If possible, you please read, speak out the absentees.
From the next class, it will be done like that, sir.
So any queries? Because we are at a licensed version, we need not bother about the timings and all. If necessary, we will spare 10 more minutes after completion of our class. So that is the reason. If you have any queries, you can ask. Otherwise, I will end the session if there is no queries. Okay, shall we close it? Any one of you? Any one of you? Okay, okay, okay. So, up to now, we have discussed almost only the set implementation part is pending. In the next class, we will discuss the set implementation part. And what you're supposed to do is, you are supposed to come with the proper preparation of generic classes, generic methods. Because as we have already implemented in so many programs, what way we are supposed to implement generic class, what way we are supposed to implement generic method. Because we'll look at into, we'll spend only less amount of time while dealing with that. So in the next class, I'll ask the questions to some of you regarding generic classes and generic methods. So Monday you should come proper preparation of generic classes and generic methods, right? I'll share all these documents in the group. You please follow it. Okay, thank you.